Mic check. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Certified podcast. Let me see. Let me go over here real quick. Coming to you live Wednesday morning.
Episode 36.
36. Damn. We need to have like a what are we gonna have like at 100? Like we need to get like a champagne or something.
Big bottle.
Big bottle of champagne. The Certified Podcast coming to you live every Wednesday. We kind of alternate the day sometimes. Sometimes we'll do it like on a Tuesday, or a Wednesday. I know like during the holidays we kind of screwed up our schedule, right, a little bit.
Yeah.
We're good to go. So the Certified Podcast, we have some exciting stuff today, and what we did was we kind of changed the format a little bit this new year. And if you aren't familiar, Certified Collision Works is a collision repair shop, and we started off really just sharing things that kind of are accident related, kind of things to kind of look out for, things this things changing in the industry, just kind of stuff, just I guess preventative, like not preventative maintenance, but preventative. What would be the word? Like educational stuff.
Yeah, just being prepared.
Yeah, just stuff to be prepared. And we kind of shifted over into getting to more into like local news and local information and stuff going on in Corpus Christi and just nationwide, just things that are kind of interesting. And so we kind of took that route. And so usually what we'll do is like we'll share some news within the city. We'll share some collision tips, and if there's any questions or any topics you would like us to dive into, like send us a message. Say, hey, have y'all thought about talking about this, or did you know that this happened in the city? And we'll kind of look into it. And that stuff is pretty interesting because a lot of times. A lot of people are just going on with their days. They don't even realize like what's going on in the city, So we're gonna get into it today. And did you get the do you want to go into the 5 things? The 5 remember
The deductible.
yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Let me bring up my notes on that. That was pretty interesting because we get we get some calls, or we get a lot of customers that will come in. Most of the times they're dealing with someone that hit them, and they want to pay out of pocket, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, "Hey, this person wants to pay out of pocket." We get them the estimate, and then like they ghost them, right?
Yeah.
But we also get questions on people saying, "Hey, I heard that this other shop will save me my deductible,"
Mm-hmm.
right? And they're excited about it because they feel like they're getting a deal,
Yeah.
right? And so do we have one of those boom boom boom? No, we don't
No.
have one. Okay, but so I said, okay, you know what? I gotta just tell them the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not right for them to be misled. And so we have 5. Is it 5? It's 5 reasons why you should not save your insurance deductible when you have a claim. And then we have 5 reasons why you might want to save deductible on a claim. And so if you find this information valuable, please, subscribe to our channel. We're also on YouTube, and share this video on Facebook. But we're going to keep bringing y'all information like that, and tips and news, and just kind of local information. But let's get into it. Let me bring my notes. You have the notes up, or you have
Yeah.
notes for? Okay, go for it. That's gonna be fun.
First one's the compromised quality of repairs. So, in order to save the money, they might cut some costs.
Yeah.
Maybe with the where they source the parts from.
Let me bring my. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, so the first one was okay. Number one is compromised quality of repair, right? So, uh, shops that say save you deductible often cut corners to make up for the cost. They might use lower quality aftermarket or salvage parts, skip necessary repair steps, or avoid thorough inspections, resulting in subpar repairs that jeopardize your vehicle's safety and longevity. So, I mean, basically, what it is like, you kind of, what's that saying? Like, you get what you pay for, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you expect someone to give you a deal, I mean, there has to come from somewhere. You know what I mean? Especially on a vehicle repair, because it's not what can I say, like it's not a 100% service driven business. It's a service driven business, but a lot of it is, the majority of it is parts and material,
Yes.
right? And then overhead. So you have to take that into consideration. Like, the person, the business has overhead. Okay, that's one expense. Then they have the parts expense, and then they have the material expense, right? And so if you're expecting them to save the deductible, where what area do you think it's going to come from? Is it going to come from them not paying their light bill?
It's
Right.
gonna be the parts.
Right? Is it going to come from them making less money, or is it going to come from material or parts? So, like, it's kind of obvious it's going to come from material and parts. So, like, you know, you don't want to cut corners on that end, because it's going to eventually, it's going to cost you more money, right? And one example of this is like, let's just say, for example, if you have a brand new vehicle, right? And you start to say, okay, you know what, this customer wants me to um, cut corners. They want me to save them deductible. So the only way I can do that is I can buy cheaper material, which is paint material, right?
Hmm.
So then they use a cheaper clear coat. Okay. So the thing with the clear coat is, like, you have a gallon that's $500, and then you have a gallon that's like $100, right? And the difference between that is that the one for $100 doesn't have UV protective in it. So think of it like this: like, um, uh, it's like let's see, how can I describe it? Basically, like, the material that should go in the vehicle, it's a lot thick. It's heavier.
Hmm.
It's a lot. It's kind of like tent, like window tent, right?
Yeah.
You could buy the cheap ass tent.
Or you get like the ceramic
You can
one.
get the ceramic one, right? So it's the same thing. Like, you can't expect someone to say, "Hey, I want you got to tint my glass," and they're like, "All right, well, the ceramic one's $500." They're like, "Dan, can you do it for 200?" They're gonna be like, I can, but it's gonna have to be this. Though I can buy it off of Amazon. It's gonna be
Yeah.
$20 a roll, but it's kind of like, it's what it is. It'll look good at first, but eventually, what happens is it's not as durable. It's not gonna last as long. Um, it's kind of like, it's kind of crap. Number two was, what's number two, Aaron?
Insurance fraud risk. Saving the deductible often involves falsifying estimates or invoices submitted to the insurance company. This practice is illegal and considered insurance fraud, which could result in fines, legal consequences, or even denial of coverage.
Mm,
So that makes sense. Like, they're going to get the money, and then they're going to go say we bought this, but then they're actually going to buy
yeah,
the cheaper parts.
yeah. And so what's crazy is, like, we've had some situations. I don't know how true this is, right? But we've had some situations where the insurance company will come look at a customer's vehicle, right? And they'll be like, "Nah, we're not gonna cover that because it was already there."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, how do you know it was already there?" And he's like, "We have ways. We have ways." And I was like, "Dude, come on, dude." I was like, "How do you like know, right?" And you know, you never know, dude. I mean, people slip up. Uh, People slip up, and you know, they 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 make mistakes. You know what I mean? A lot of times insurance companies are kind of tricky, right? For example, if you get in an accident, you know, uh, let's just say you get in an accident and it's $2,000, right? Well, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have pictures of that vehicle, right? And then let's say you don't fix it, and then let's just say a year or two later, you make another claim, and you're like, hey, well, let me add this
Yeah.
previous damage on there. I already got paid on it. Maybe I can get paid twice. They have record of all that information. They have notes of the condition, the dents, what's related, what's not related. They have it's almost like they have this private chat line that they communicate through. So yeah, just be careful on that.
And then we also keep records of all the invoices.
Yeah, you gotta have a paper trail on that. So number three is it voids the warranties. So go for it. What's number three?
Many reputable manufacturers and insurance companies offer warranties on repairs when proper procedures and genuine parts are used. Shops that cut corners may not honor these warranties, leaving you unprotected if issues arise later. So, yeah, the
What does that mean?
so it'd be like us if somebody has an issue with something, they can come bring it back, but the other shop's not going to want to do the free labor.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. So like if they're cutting corners and they're trying to like make things work, a good example, dude, would be like let's just say for example on that, remember we did that Ford the 350, right?
Mhm.
Okay, let's just say, right, that that the insurance said, hey, go ahead and put the brand new radiator on there, right? And they paid for a new radiator, right?
Yeah.
And then we look at it, we're like, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. Let's just not put it, right? Okay, so now, the radiator ended up being damaged, right? So let's just say if that was a claim and the insurance was like, what's going on here? The customer would be like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Then like you're in a bunch of mess. So think about it like this. So let's just say that that was a customer's vehicle. It's a customer's vehicle, but let's say it was a claim, right? And the customer came and says, hey, um, can y'all save me my $1,000 deductible? And you're like, oh yeah, we can save the radiator. You
Yeah.
save them the deductible, right? And then they take off. They're like, hey, the radiator's fucked up. So now you just made a bunch of mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you just made a bunch of mess. So now you're gonna have to go try to find a used radiator, put it in, right? And so now basically you just screwed up the whole claim because you can't warranty that radiator. Like, dude, it can get like, dude, these shops are crazy out there, man. They're just,
Have you heard of some of this stuff happening?
yeah, I've heard, yeah.
You want to go over the next one?
Go for it. I was gonna share this on our comments, but go ahead.
Safety concerns. Proper repairs are crucial for your vehicle's structural integrity and safety features like airbags and crumple zones. A shop focused on saving your deductible might skip calibrations or repairs critical to your vehicle's safety, putting you and your passengers at risk.
Yeah, that's a major thing, dude. Like you know, the whole safety thing, dude. Like that's a major thing because, um, like I just shared the notes here. That's a major thing because, dude, a lot of people don't don't think about that, dude. Like I tell you all the time, and I tell the text at the shop, dude. Like this is someone's vehicle. This is someone's like lifeline.
Yeah.
Like it's not just a vehicle. Like this vehicle is used to take someone to the doctor. It's used to pick up someone's kids. It's used to you know, it's used for a bunch of different stuff. You know what I mean? So like, don't risk that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially these calibrations, depending on what car and what's done to the vehicle,
Yeah.
they need to get calibrated, and people might not do that just to save
Oh
money.
yeah, dude. Yeah, they're the calibration thing is getting tricky, dude, because everything needs to be calibrated now, and and so a lot of shops. This is what's gonna happen. A lot of shops are gonna be weeded out because they're not willing to invest in understanding how that works. They're not willing to pay the money to get that done on the vehicle, right? Because look, for example, let's say you have a Ford, the Fords are like that, the Hondas are like that for sure, the Toyotas are like that. So the Toyotas for sure, in the front they have a distance sensor, right? That distance sensor, you know about this, like
Yeah,
the distance sensor alone is like 500-600 bucks. Okay, the bracket's like another $100, right? So that's already like $700 for the sensor. Then it's 450 to calibrate it, right? So like just that alone, is kind of expensive. And these shops that kind of just jump into the vehicle and they don't really pay attention, and they're like, oh, it doesn't look damaged. Let's just tie strap it. It's fine.
yeah,
They don't even know what it really does. But what it does, it actually detects the distance in front of the vehicles in front of you. So if it's off, then the vehicle doesn't know how close that other vehicle is. So it can get kind of messy. You know what I mean? And so, that's kind of another thing you got to be cautious of.
and then last reason is potential long-term costs. While saving your deductible might seem like a good idea, a good deal up front, low quality repairs often lead to more significant problems down the road. You may end up paying out of pocket for additional repairs, diminished vehicle value, or even liability issues if your vehicle is involved in another accident.
Yeah, I mean, and dude, we've been in business for a long time, and I used to do this. Like I used to help people with deductibles. I used to, people would come in and says, hey man, like, you know, I got in a wreck. I don't want to pay my insurance. I don't want to make a claim. Can you just kind of like get me back on the road? And you know, it sucks because like sometimes you're trying to help someone out, but then it turns around and like backfires on you. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And and I kind of just said, you know what, I'm not gonna, like, everybody just pay the deductible. That way you're under warranty and like everything's done right. Like
Yeah.
because what happens is like you agree to do something, they thought you were gonna do it this way, and then so like you're all over the place with the job. An example of this is like we had a customer that came in. This was a long time ago, dude. Like maybe 6-7 years ago, right? And he had a Nissan, like a Nissan Altima or Nissan uh, a Pathfinder, I think. And he had wrecked on the right side. He had wrecked the fender, the bumper, and the headlight, and he hit the wheel, right. And he's like, man, he's like, I don't want to make a claim. This is the good. It's paid off. It's free and clear. I just need it for work. Just what's the cheapest you could do it for? He's like, you don't even have to paint it. I just want a fender, the bumper, and the light on there so I can drive it to work, right? And so I was like, okay. And so this is what I did because I said, man, I said, but there's probably gonna be suspension damage on it because it hit the tire. And he's like, no, I'll get that fixed later. And I was like, but you need to get that fixed. Like you can't drive it like that because the wheel was bent. I mean the strut was bent, right? So anyway, long story short, we fixed the vehicle. I had him sign saying, hey, you know what, like uh that he was gonna agree to go get the suspension fixed. I told him to take it where to
Yeah.
take it. I said, take it over here and then get an estimate. They'll fix it for you, right? Well, he didn't take it over there, dude, and he kept driving like that, dude. And then finally, he went to go get new tires, and they wouldn't give him new tires because his suspension was damaged, right? So he comes back. He's like, dude, I thought you were gonna fix my like everything. I was like, no, dude, like I told you. And so he was upset, and I said, look, I said you signed. I said we talked about this, and you signed right here. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right, whatever. Like, but I was like, man, dude, like these, like I try to help him out, and so But I mean, it's just man, people are trying to make it out there. So I understand, and you just can't help everybody out. But let's get into 5 reasons why you might want to say deductible because it wouldn't be fair like for us to be like 5 reasons why you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But let's just say 5 reasons why you might want to share. I mean, why you might want to save your deductible, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to save the deductible, like you probably don't give a shit about your car. So, what are the 5 reasons why we might consider uh, saving the deductible? Do you have those?
Yes. Immediate financial relief. Many people might not have the funds readily available to cover a deductible, especially if it's a high amount. Saving on the deductible helps reduce the financial burden in the short term.
Okay, so this is good, right? So financial relief if the deductible is high. So a lot of people don't know that their deductible is high because they don't know what their deductible is,
Yeah.
right? So we've had some customers come in. They're like, "Dude, my deductible is like $1,500," and I'm like, "How'd you like? What's up with that?" He's like, "Man, the agent said that they're giving me a good deal," and I was like, "Well, that's like." So the way it works is like the higher the deductible, the lower your payment will be.
Hmm.
So you have to say, okay, you know what, like, do I want a $1,500 deductible? Do I want that deductible or can I do $1,000? Right? But I would suggest like let's just say for example if you have a high deductible, I would say communicating to the shop and saying, hey, you know what, like I want to get my vehicle fixed. I want to make sure it's done right. It's a family vehicle. What are some options I have to take care of this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it might be like making it into 2 payments, or it might be some kind of agreement or something. Saying, hey, you know what, like maybe the car is drivable. It's not that bad, but you can save up to get the deductible. I think you're better off, trying to work something out with the shop or trying to borrow the money to get that vehicle fixed right than risking saving the deductible, you know, and then it coming back and costing you more later because then you're really going to be screwed.
And then perception of a better deal.
Who
Saving
is, yeah, go ahead.
saving on the deductible may feel like getting a discount or a win in what is already a stressful and costly situation, making the repair process seem more affordable.
Wow, I think that's what probably gets most people right there because they're upset because someone hit their car. They hit someone. Now they got to make a claim. They're like, damn, this fucking dude didn't have insurance. I'm gonna have to go through my insurance.
And then the insurance is like, hey, go to these places, get
Yeah,
estimates. So
yeah.
they're going around town.
And so then they go to the one shop and the guy's like, nah, dude, bring it. I'll save your deductible. I'll hook you up. I'll give you money back. And so like, shit, I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
So like that, it's fucking. Oh man, that's crazy.
Next up is lack of insurance understanding. Some individuals may not fully understand the risk of compromising repair quality or
Yep.
committing insurance fraud. They may focus solely on minimizing their upfront expenses.
Yeah, that's. I think you know what the perception of a better deal and lack of insurance understanding are two of the main reasons why people think it's good to save the deductible. You know, because they don't understand how the insurance process works, and they think that oh, the insurance is going to pay whatever, and just tell them how much it's going to be, and they're going to pay it. That's not the case. Insurance companies are like they're like the the frugal old man, right?
Yeah.
They're like the frugal old man, and when you ask them for money, they're like, "Okay, what is it for? What is it for that? Can you get a better deal somewhere else? I'm not gonna pay all that." And like, dude, like it's a freaking nightmare trying to get them to pay for something. So you really got to know how the insurance process works, for them to get paid on stuff. So, but the good thing about it is like we've been doing claims for seems like forever, and so we understand the language of the insurance companies.
Hmm.
We understand how the adjusters work. We understand what information they need. So, like a lot of times, whenever we say, "Hey, this is what we need to get, done," and we have documentation, they don't have a problem paying us for it. A lot of these shops don't even understand how the insurance claim process works. Better yet, how to submit a supplement, how to get everything covered correctly. So, I think it's a lack of information, a lack of knowledge, a lack of insurance understanding on both ends.
Hmm.
Sometimes, okay.
Next
Number
up,
4.
financial priorities. If someone's facing other financial obligations like bills, medical expenses, or debt, avoiding deductible costs can help them allocate their resources towards those pressing needs.
Yeah. So yeah. So like I said, it goes back to like them not having the money at the moment. And like I said, the thing is like that's the thing that sucks about getting in an accident because you don't know when it's gonna happen, and so it might come at the worst moment. But I would suggest like always if if you have a nice vehicle, you know, uh, and someone's telling you they're gonna do it, they're gonna save you deductible, they're gonna save you all this stuff, and they're making everything seem real good. I would get a second opinion, right? And I would probably ask more questions, right? I would ask more questions, and I would always try to see if you can work out some kind of payment arrangement or get some kind of, borrow some kind of money just to get that vehicle fixed right. It's gonna be better off in the long run because you will be under warranty. It won't affect the value of your vehicle if it's a shitty repair.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever go to sell that vehicle, trade it in, they're not gonna take a bunch of money off of the value of it.
And last up, number 5, avoiding out-of-pocket costs for a non-fault accident. If the accident wasn't their fault, they might feel it's unfair to pay out-of-pocket expenses like the deductible, and often for a shop that saves it in to avoid additional financial
Yeah.
strain.
I mean, so one way to do that is like you might be better off just getting uninsured motorist. Because the uninsured motorist has a lower deductible on it. I think it's like 250, and it will cover not fault accidents. Someone hits you, tree falls, or uh, hit and run, whatever. They'll cover those kind of damages. So, you know, a lot of times they go. It really comes back to not understanding the insurance, how it works, and what's available out there. So, man, those are good, man. Speaking of cost. Speaking of cost, let's go into the Harbor Bridge thing, dude.
Yeah. So you want to go over what do you want to go over? I have a timeline if you want to go
Go
over.
for it. Let's do your timeline.
So you know the original Harbor Bridge,
Okay.
this one, and
Oh dang. Okay.
so like it was made in 1959.
Okay.
So it wasn't built to last forever. So so back in '01 to '03 is when the initial conversation of building a new one started.
When was that?
'01 and '03.
Okay.
So in 2011 they got the estimate written up. And
Estimate.
yeah.
Can I get an estimate?
So the estimate came up to 600 million, and
600. Okay.
100 million of that would come from local sources. So that was the Texas Department of Transportation.
Uh,
And then in 2013 it was approved, and they awarded them 601 million.
okay.
So that's what they're starting off when they had the project.
So it started off in 2013.
That's when it was like approved.
Okay.
And then, oh, that's a blurry photo, but it's the lights that they added on. This was in 2016 is when they actually broke ground.
Okay.
So they're breaking ground, and they think it's going to cost 600 million. They have an extra million somewhere.
How come there's no Mexicans there? And the Mexicans are the ones that built the bridge.
That's just the ceremony. They came in after. Stop by Home Depot. And so they broke ground 2016 thinking it was going to be a 4-year project.
Yeah.
And then in 2020. And then
Oh shoot, what is this?
So this is the bridge in Florida.
Oh, okay.
So this was still under construction at the time.
Uh-huh.
But this company, the Fig. So they're the ones who designed this bridge and the new Harbor Bridge.
Okay.
So they saw this happen, and they looked into it, and they saw it was the same company. And because this was such a big deal, because it was just a pedestrian bridge.
Yeah. Oh, no shit.
And it wasn't even open yet, and it collapsed.
Damn.
Because it was just built wrong.
Yeah.
So they halted the project of the New Harbor Bridge.
Wow. So this wasn't even like a. There was not even. So I wonder what caused that.
This one was designed poorly, so it couldn't
Yeah, it looks
hold
too
its own.
long.
It couldn't hold its own weight.
Wow.
And then so uh, this is in 2019 when they had the cranes up
Uh,
and
wow, that's crazy.
here.
Damn, that's dude. That's I've never seen that. So this is aquariums over here.
Yes.
Wow, that's nice. North Beach is actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do with that?
And then in 2020 they removed fake bridge engineers, the one who was working on
Yeah.
that bridge. They removed them from future work spans of the Harbor Bridge. So I'm
Okay.
assuming they completed the work that they're doing. Like, oh, I'm going to complete this section, and then they remove them. Like, you're not going to come back,
Yeah.
and they they went to go hire someone else to look at the bridge designs. So they're not going to be building it,
Mm.
but the Department of Transportation were still worried about what was wrong with it. And then, so 2 years later in 2022, they suspended work again on the main portion of the bridge due to the concerns.
Yeah.
I I think you heard of that, right?
Yeah. Damn, that's a massive bridge, dude.
It's gonna be the largest one of the cable stays
Yeah.
in America. But they're saying that the where they drilled the foundation into,
Mm.
it wasn't gonna be able to hold the weight that it needed. And the high winds, or if there's a lot of cars, so they had to like redo these, or
They
like add
redid. They
something.
redid them.
They did something to
Oh.
them to because they weren't designed to hold the weight that they needed to.
Wow.
And then these up here, this cables,
Mm.
they didn't have the right supports to hold the weight,
Mm.
so they had to go back and add more material because
Damn, dude. That's
it holds the weight, so it's gonna make it stronger.
yeah.
And then, of course, the cranes were a big deal because I know one of them caught fire, and then they're concerned about the cost and all this stuff.
Yeah. One of them caught fire.
Yes, the one caught fire and people were injured because the stuff fell.
Really? I didn't know that.
But these things cost a lot of money, so that's why the budget kept going up.
What, the cranes?
Yeah. While the project's delayed, they still have to pay for them.
Oh shit! So they're leasing them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're renting them, I guess.
It'll be like if you went on a business trip and got a rental car
Yeah.
and it got snowed in somewhere,
Yeah, and you're still.
you're stuck, you can't do anything, and you're paying for this.
Damn. Yeah, because they can't just take it back and says, "Oh, we're gonna wait."
Yeah, they have to build these things on site.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then in November 22, construction resumed after Texas Department of Transportation and the developer addressed one of the five design disputes, and then the remaining would be resolved in April 2023.
Okay.
And then the project, like this is some of it, how they're building it. It has these right
Oh,
here,
yeah.
so you could like actually walk in them. So this was
I wonder if this
last
is gonna
year.
be open. Like, I wonder if these are gonna be accessible.
These ones,
Like, no, like to walk in there.
uh-huh.
I wonder if it's gonna have how you can get in there.
Not for like normal people,
Yeah.
but for the engineers, they have access points, so they could go inside and look if the bridge is failing or not,
Yeah.
if there's crack. They put lights in here and outlets.
Oh shoot.
They said the JFK Causeway,
Mm.
that bridge also has the same design.
Oh
Where
really?
you could walk in it.
The JFK is kind of small too.
Yeah. Is that the next project?
Yeah.
No, they were proposing building a second bridge over there.
Hmm.
They're saying some there's like a plan from the
Yeah,
like city council or whatever of different locations they might want it, but that's just like an idea put out.
that'll be a massive bridge too.
And then so the project is still going on right now, but they're looking to have it completed by the summertime.
Nice.
So do you remember when this first started?
Shit, I don't even remember. Like it's been so long. How long has it? So what was it, like 10 years?
So it's been almost 10 years because it's 2016.
Wow, dude, it's been. I guess you know. So it's 5 years
o-
over.
Over the 4 year.
Oh, so it was only supposed to take 4 years at
Yeah,
first,
and
and
then
then
now it's
take.
been taking 9.
Damn, damn, like all that money that
And then it went from 600 million, the 601
yeah,
million, the budget, to 1.2 billion.
almost half, almost double.
Yeah.
Wow.
So will you drive on this once it's completed?
I mean, it seems like it might. I mean, I'm curious to see like when it's gonna be windy.
See how it holds up.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw that video of that old bridge, but I forgot where it was, but the wind started blowing on it or
Mm,
something,
mm.
and the whole bridge was like
Shave
waving,
it, yeah.
and then it collapsed.
Damn, dude. So man, that's crazy. I know that I also read on there. We're all dark. I also read on there that man, what happened to our face?
Oh, came back.
Okay. Uh, I also read on there that they were kind of just stuck trying to figure out what the hell they were gonna do with that thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
because when you have disputes like that
Yeah.
over the safety, and then they have to stop the construction, and then they gotta figure that stuff out.
Wow. So I know there was another incident. I think we can segue way into that about the another overage or other costs that the city kind of. So this they were saying like this is not really gonna the additional cost is not gonna be absorbed by Corpus
No,
taxes
because it's
because it's text dot, right.
yeah.
Okay, that's pretty. I wonder how that. Well, I mean, in a way, like you kind of
They said majority of the funding comes from federal.
wonder how that works. So anyway, so that's pretty interesting. So hopefully that's up by the summer. When's the summer?
So it's gonna be June,
June.
and then they're gonna start taking apart the old one once that one opens up, and then by the fall time they should lower the big portion of the old bridge down.
Damn. That's gonna be interesting. I think that's gonna be interesting to see kind of like how North Beach develops. Because I know we went to I guess like a meeting, and they were talking about the Harbor Bridge and that opening, and there were concerns about them getting like medical assistance to that area over there because the way the bridge is not designed. Because like how long it is.
Yeah,
Like you can't just get exit like go. I don't know if you can go back to
yeah, I can.
if you can go back just to where.
Like
Well,
even
go to the next one. The next one, like the one where. Okay, look. So like the bridge is over here.
it doesn't start. You don't really touch the ground till like over here.
Yeah. So they're saying where would the exit be at though? You see the
Like
exit.
way over here, or even yeah,
Like you
probably
can't just go out. Like you can't just go out that fast. So they were saying like some of the concerns was really about the medical, like how they gonna get ambulance out there. Think about the ambulance if it's gonna travel all the way over here, it has to go all on this big bridge. Where's it gonna exit at? And then by the time, because they were saying like a lot of old people live in these condos over here.
yeah.
There's a condo over there. There's a condo over here. A lot of elders live in those condos. Well, that's gonna be interesting. Okay, so let's segue into what's going on downtown. I know that the downtown thing I know was kind of happened a while back,
Mm-hmm.
but it was still pretty interesting because they haven't resolved that yet. Which was, but I think the funny part was it where how they were saying like they were like what did they not they didn't say tampered, they say
They said Photoshop screenshot.
So uh apparently the they're building a new hotel downtown, right? This is kind of like old news, but it still hasn't been resolved yet. But it was pretty interesting because it was just, I think what kind of got our attention was where it said like photoshopped. We're like, what the fuck? Photoshop? What is that, right? Like, what's going on here? So we kind of looked into it, and it was pretty interesting. You want to share that?
Yeah, so they're trying to get Type B funding for the. I have a picture of
So
it.
so I was looking at what Type B funding is. So Type B funding is for new job creations. So
Okay.
like it's more like, okay, for example, like let's just say the Tesla plant, right,
Mhm.
can probably qualify for that because what they're doing is they're manufacturing to generate, like it's like a manufacturing, like that job. It's not
Yeah.
like what they're saying is like anybody in the food industry. It's not like it's not a manufacturer. They're not manufacturing anything to boost the economy.
Yeah.
Like they're just providing a
A service.
service versus someone that's manufacturing and they're actually creating jobs that are being exported. They're it's driving revenue, right? For example, let's just say a company says, hey, you know what, we're gonna manufacture cell phones, right? And so they get funding for that, okay, because they know that when they make those phones, they're gonna export them and they're gonna
Hmm.
it's gonna
Yeah.
you know they're gonna use that money and it's going to multiply because it's going into the economy, it's going into retail, it's going to.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what the purpose of that funding is for. And so, and then they were saying like what is the average income of people in Corpus Christi, and they said 60,000, right? Well, that's if someone's like in like a manufacturer space, but they're saying, well, in the hospitality industry, like that's only 30,000. Like, dude, it's kind of fishy. I mean, it's kind of interesting.
But they were saying that it was for the. It's gonna be the Homewood Suites by
Yeah,
Hilton Hotel,
yeah.
and they had like a map of the water, like the flooding zoning,
Yeah.
and then that's where they altered it, and then so they got the 2 million from it.
Mm,
But there's what it was Michael Hunter.
uh-huh.
So he voted. There's seven that voted yes. He voted no, and then what was her name? Voted like she didn't vote.
The the mayor,
Is it the mayor? I don't want to get her name
Paula.
wrong.
There's only one woman on. Oh no, there's.
Sylvia Campos.
Okay.
So she didn't really vote because she felt like something was like wrong fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that one person called them out. So the person building this
Mm,
that has like different hotels,
mm.
and then there's another person that also has different hotels in the
Oh yeah, yeah,
area.
yeah, yeah.
His name was they David Ajit David.
Mm.
So he called them out and was like, "Hey, that doesn't look right. Like, look
Yeah.
into it."
Well, because it they said that doesn't easily happen.
Yeah,
Like they're like we've never like used those funds for a hotel like it,
and
and so
then they kind of like cheated their way into getting the fund.
and then so the last story I read was like they couldn't even get in contact with the builder. Like they're like we haven't been able to get a contact.
What I saw was that the one that called them out, they were talking to him,
Mm,
and he's like, he doesn't like, he's like, yeah, like take the funds away or something. Like,
mm.
not because I don't want to see a different hotel here in my area, but it just doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, it's
And
two
it's
million. It's $2 million.
so they're saying he was saying that he doesn't care about another hotel and all that, and then he a few months after this originally happened,
Mm.
he went out trying to get them to take the funds away.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean that's $2 million, dude. I mean, I think they hyped this up. I'm glad they're doing this. I'm glad they're building another hotel in there. What throws me off is they keep saying Top Golf. They're gonna build a top. They're not gonna build a top golf, dude. Like,
You need a lot of space for that.
like, why do they keep saying that? Like it says they're gonna build a top golf at the top. Like, have you seen the size of a top golf like place?
The only
Like,
place they would build that is like the south side. Like,
and if like the nets, they're gonna have all these nets. All the birds, they're gonna catch all the seagulls. So I don't know, like that. I think that's kind of like I think that's a little bit misleading.
you know what else is misleading? The city council being like, "Oh, this is the first hotel downtown in 10 years,"
Yeah.
and all this other stuff. And like over 10 years, over a decade, there's one built in. There's like a Days Inn or something
Oh
built
yeah,
in 2019.
the one right there by you and I restaurant.
So, so
We
people, so people are like, "Why are you making it seem like this is like brand new?" Like,
Oh, they're saying downtown hasn't been built. That well, I mean that makes sense because nothing has really built downtown. But you know what? I'm not sure if how accurate this is, but maybe someone can leave us a comment on it. But there's a hotel right there by where the dog park's at,
yes.
and they said you can't stay there if you live in Corpus. Like
Oh, that makes sense.
like if you have a like if you're a resident, you can't stay there.
There's a like when you go travel, there's a lot that say if you're in your ID says the city, you can't stay here.
Oh, really? Hmm. Oh, probably because they get the travel, they get funding, they get some kind of, they make more money off the tourists.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. What else you got, Aaron? Oh, let's
Uh,
give a shout out to our sponsors, and then we can cut it short. Are you still got some?
no, that was it. It was just that guy filed the lawsuit trying to take the money away.
Oh, so the other guy, the other builder,
Ajit David,
he filed the lawsuit.
he filed a lawsuit after saying that he didn't care if another hotel showed up in
Mm.
Corpus. This is our first sponsor. Oh, it's kind of hard to see. I'll hide it up here, but I'll do this instead. It's cashpropertybuy.com.
Okay, what do they do? What do they do?
They make selling your house a breeze.
Dude, can we get like a breeze like sound?
Yeah, we gotta get a breeze one and then like a cash one.
Shing.
Car accident.
Bro.
Get the
Huh? Hmm? Hey, can't park there.
and then they have a phone number on the screen 361-549-3863, and they just help you out selling your house if you maybe you have a property you don't need anymore, maybe you didn't want the property, came through inheritance or something you owe on it.
Yeah, even if if you still have a mortgage on it, they'll take over the payments on that.
Got it from a divorce.
Yeah, anything. I think they're open to hear any kind of situation. So really check it out. If you know someone, refer them. I know there's a pretty sure they can do like a referral fee or something.
Mm-hmm.
Put the link tree here. Go ahead. And then of course,
Certified Collision Works.
Certified Collision Works, Greenwood and Saratoga. Uh, Go for it. Go for
Yeah.
it. I'm just adding this link tree.
And then we warranty all the repairs.
Warranty all the repairs. We also
World-class service. We'll help you through the claim even if you're not going to come to our shop.
Yeah.
So we have a phone number up there, 361-225-2555. And if you need any help with your claim process, maybe you haven't been in an accident in a while, you just need some help guiding through the process, have some questions, go ahead. You could call that number, and if nobody picks up, it'll prompt up a message to text instead.
yeah.
And then we'll either call you back or text you.
And so we often get asked like why like what makes certified different, right? And what makes us different is that like we focus primarily on collision repair and insurance claims. Like we're not gonna try to offer you this, engine rebuild and transmission service and like,
Window tinting.
yeah, we primarily focus on insurance claims. We primarily focus on making sure that everything's done correctly, and we make sure that there's a paper trail so that if something comes up, you have warranty on that. And so that's our primary focus. Um, so we specialize in that. That's our thing. You know what I mean? So if people say, "Why are y'all different?" It's because we are experts in that space. You know what I mean?
Also, fleet repairs.
Fleet repairs as well. We do the majority of, we do HEB, we do Chick-fil-A, the city, the police department, undercover, code enforcement.
Hmm.
We even do the little cars that whenever you put the garage sale signs or you put those signs, they go pick them up. we
We
do
do the refineries.
refineries, uh, a bunch of different oil companies. So we work with a lot of companies, and one of the reasons why is because we're very transparent. We're not all over the place as far as like we're not trying to do these different projects. We stay primarily to collision repair and getting the job in and out. So,
And
and
also, when you have the fleet of all the same vehicles, and you go to that repair shop, they understand those vehicles a lot better.
yeah,
They keep seeing them.
yeah, you're right. Especially with the Fords, how those Fords are really getting, they're really getting complicated, and they're getting very technical because of the way they're built. So we do a lot of Fords too.
Right. That's gonna wrap it up.
Gonna wrap it up. Give us do we have outro music?
Now we have the
That's the outro music.
yeah.
Bruh.